Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
This episode of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience best events in town, all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use the promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets. Are you ready to take your energy to the next level? W Energy is a proud sponsor of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, your go-to source for all things sports. W Energy isn't just another drink. It's packed with natural ingredients, zero sugar, and no fillers. Whether you're training like me, grinding through work, or just leveling up on your favorite game, W got you covered. The Darion Hopkins Sports Show is powered by W Energy, and you can be too. Experience the sustained energy and enhanced focus to keep me at the top of my game. Here's an exclusive offer for the Darion Hopkins Sports Show fans. Using promo code DHopkins at checkout and get 10% off your first purchase. So don't wait. Boost your energy and take the world today. W Energy. Fuel your greatness every step of the way. Good evening, everyone. What is going on? It is your boy Darion of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, and we're back with episode 13 of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. We are live on Facebook, which is Darion Hopkins, if you do want to go follow that, or go follow the Darion Hopkins Sports Show fan page on Facebook. We are live on Rumble at D Hopkins Sports Show. We are live on YouTube at Darion Hopkins Sports Show, and we're live on Twitch at Darion Hopkins Sports Show. So make sure y'all follow us all on the social medias, follow us on TikTok and stuff of that nature. So make sure y'all go check it out. But shout out to everybody that's actually watching and listening, because we are going to have this audio podcast version of this will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have Bobby Productions in the building, John Nels in the building, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights in the building, and we have Anthony Estrada in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you would like to donate to this channel as well, if you're on Facebook, please send stars to help us out and donate to the channel. If you want to use the super chat on YouTube, you can do that as well. Just hit the $ at the bottom of the comment section, and you could do that. Or you could just send straight to our Cash App. Yes, the D Hopkins Show Cash App is $D Hopkins Show. We have an action-packed show for y'all today. No snowman, Mr. Brian Snow, no snowman today for the show. So it's basically going to be me. I'm not going to keep y'all long. I'm going to let it be known, keep these topics short and sweet, but we're definitely going to get into it, talk about some USA basketball, a little bit of stuff around NBA news, a little bit of WNBA news. We're going to talk about the MLB All-Star game, and we're going to give y'all a little bit of NFL news, and I'm going to get out of y'all here on this Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. Make sure you go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code DHopkins to get $20 off your first purchase. Using that, going to live events, sporting events, anything you want to do, live events, make sure you go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code DHopkins to get $20 off your first purchase. Anything for your energy drinks as well, just for your energy drinks. You want to go and get some powder or get something of that nature, just let me know. Just go to w.gg and use the promo code DHopkins to get $10 off your purchase at checkout. So if you're not going to talk about, I don't know if you're going to talk about it, but as a Raiders fan, I'm really getting ticked off with the Davante Adams rumors. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm not going to talk about it much. But there's a lot of stuff that's been going on with the whole Davante Adams thing. If you have not watched Receiver, then you'll understand why the rumors are happening. If you have not watched Receiver on Netflix, but I'm not talking on NFL at this moment because we are going to talk Team USA. I mean, I was at work today, and it was pretty chill at work today. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, pretty chill. At Team USA, I was able to actually watch the game, and they approved the 3-0 with an impressive win over Serbia. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I think that was a very impressive win. I'm gonna be just rumors. Yeah, it's just rumors, but sometimes just rumors can really turn into something big. But I'm not going to talk about any NFL right now. We're going to talk about Team USA. We're going to talk some basketball. We're going to talk some basketball as of right now. But I am going to get to that. But there was in Abu Dhabi, when Stephen Curry had a sizzling 18 points in his first, 11 minutes, and those was the hot streaks that raised goosebumps throughout the arenas, man. I could be completely honest. It was like the boy was balling. The boy was balling, arching three-pointers, splash repeatedly through the net. And then the buzzer sound off when, a sub was coming to get him. And Coach Steve Kerr probably would never imagine himself doing that in the middle of a second quarter. But this the way the USA team supposed to look like. That's what they're supposed to look like. A lot of firepower, a lot of relentlessness, and a lot of deployment. Like now it's 2 weeks onto the journey to finally go into Paris and get the Olympics. I'm gonna say the Americans was not perfect in this game, but the potential historic group is starting to show its teeth. It really is. It really is. The team improved to 3-0, and it was a warm-up tour with an impressive win with 105-79 victory over the medal contending Serbia, which had a really good turnout as far as that. Now, Warriors fans might not like me, but they hate me every time, they take Steph out. I'm gonna be completely honest. But I get started, I'm gonna get started with this. Even by Team USA standards, this group is outrageously deep. The Americans have shown MVP awards represented through their starting lineup, not even including Kevin Durant, who remains out with a calf injury, which I think he will be fine. He will be fine. So, during this time, during the hockey style substitutions, subbing 5 players at a time. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. When the public announcer told the crowd the line changes, it said names like Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Tyrese Halliburton, Devin Booker, all at once as a second unit is pretty little sovereign, I could say. But Bam, I'm gonna say this. My boy, Heat culture, baby. I'm Heat culture to the day that I die. Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis together are really something special. They really are. And it's just switching, or also can protect the rim and be in a drop if we go into that coverage. That's what it comes down to. The strength of the team and the depth that if we could play a 4-on-5 minute burst with just playing intense defense, hitting bodies, rebounding, being physical, it makes it sense to play that way. It does. And this group, through sometimes included Jason Tatum and Derek White to get their first minutes. They had crushed the competition in expositions, but it shows just how hard it could be to beat the Americans in Paris. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like Bam Adebayo had 17 points. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to that second half, that third and the fourth quarters, they dominated. Cal Ware in the summer has been great. Yeah, he has been great too. But this team as a collective in the second half play so well, but let's not get too hype about it, right? Because that first half they struggled. That first quarter they was sloppy, mad turnovers, missing layups. They were not at their best in that first half. Steph Curry probably had the best first half with the team USA. LeBron didn't even play that well in the first half. Bam Adebayo had an okay first half. I'm not gonna lie. He had double figures going into the halftime of that game, but it was just so many ways that they could have won this game. It was just so many ways. Using Joel Embiid, he had a slow start trying to get his legs underneath him, but he definitely did get better defensively on this side. I mean, he was 6 of 19, uncharacteristic 6 of 19 shooting to finish with 16 points and 11 rebounds. That's pretty improvement from what the last couple of games we saw from Joel Embiid. I think when it comes to Anthony Edwards, he's a star in himself. Anthony Edwards is a star in himself. And you've seen the improvements coming down, drop his step back, shoot the three. It was a pretty good outcome, But Embiid did miss several layups, 2 of 8 shooting, 8 rebounds, showing that he can still, not back to himself in the postseason, but it's all good. It's all good. We see, this is the one thing that I can see with Team USA, right? When you notice that they just stand around and let someone dribble the ball, this team looks very stagnant. It looks very stagnant. But when you see them moving the basketball and not one dribbling happen, that's when you know the Team USA is deadly. They are deadly. Sebastian Andrew, what's going on? Bobby Productions, what's going on? But like I said before, when it comes to Team USA, in the way they do things, in the way they played today against Nikola Jokic in this Serbia team, which that Serbia team is really good, we're not going to take nothing away from them. We're not going to take nothing away from them. But that Team USA looked really impressive. But Serbia is a good basketball team. We're not going to sit here and do that. They can make shots. It's just that when it came in the second half, Team USA made the adjustment that they had to make. Anthony Davis had 6 blocks, dominated in the post. Not dominated offensively, but defensively, he was well. So, they definitely played in transition too. We saw them passing the ball, cutting to the basket, making the extra pass. If we could play like that through the whole Olympics, we're winning gold. We're winning gold. We still got a couple more scrimmage games that we do have to do here for the for Team USA. But watching that game was pretty impressive. How much more streams do you think should I earn a mod? I will definitely let you know. You just never know. You just never know where you're going to get your mod. You just never know. It's very, very unexpected with me. But with Team USA against Serbia, they played a very, very impressive game. And I was very, very impressed. I was very impressed because defensively they broke down a lot in that first half, but they put the clamps on them. And they shot very well from the free throw. Shot very well from the field goal, and they definitely shot well from the free throw line. It was just turning from defense to offense in transition, fast breaks, stuff of that nature. Even Devin Booker, I don't want to, not exclude anybody, but Devin Booker had a few shots too. Bam Adebayo did his thing. Y'all know LeBron James ended up getting going in the third and the fourth quarter. But Steph Curry was the man of the day, man. He definitely was the man of the day. And Team USA looked really good. They looked really good, very impressive. I can't wait to see more. I can't wait till it actually games that actually count when it comes to that. So I can't wait to see it. So let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. We have some other stuff that we want to talk about here. We're going to talk about some LA Lakers stuff. So when it comes to the Lakers, right? I know people don't want to talk about the Lakers, but hey, it is what it is. And I really have nothing to do with LeBron James or Anthony Davis. It's all about JJ Redick and his coaching staff. And that's exactly what he did here. He definitely, sources adding Lindsey Harding. If you do not know who Lindsey Harding is, he is a Duke University standout and a WNBA legend that's been coaching in the G League for a long time now. Now, Lindsey Harding joins JJ Redick's staff, which already includes Nate McMillan, Scott Brooks, and Greg St. John. Now, we all know that Lindsey Harding was the number 1 overall pick in the 2007 WNBA draft by the Phoenix Mercury, which was traded to the Minnesota Lynx. Now, Harden will play 270 games in the WNBA, averaging only like 10 points a game, but she still was a good player. And Lindsey Harding was the head coach of the G League of the Stockton Kings, who reached the conference finals in Harding lone season at the helm. So this is definitely given what, Becky Hammond did. And Harding was the G League coach of the year after 1 year being with the Stockton G League. And she was on the 76ers coaching staff when JJ Redick played in Philadelphia. So Lindsey Harding was interviewed for a head coaching position with the Charlotte Hornets. Eventually, it went to Charles Lee in that situation. So this is a good move for her. She's 40 years old. She's steady climbing on to the NBA bench after retiring a 9-year WNBA career. Like I said, she was the number 1 overall pick in the 2007 WNBA draft. And she reached the Western Conference Finals in her 1 season with the Stockton Kings after working as a player development coach with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Sacramento Kings. Harding interviewed, and she did so much. She do so much for the game. Them boys looking good for gold. Yeah, they looking good for gold, but I already moved on from it. And I think Lindsey Harding adding to the Lakers coaching staff and knowing that she has a rapport with JJ Redick, I think it was a smart move for Lindsey Harding to get an opportunity to be on a coaching staff, which she was on a coaching staff with the Philadelphia 76ers with JJ Redick was there. So I think the rapport that he likes from her, and I think the friendship that he has with her, just add more fuel to the staff. That's what I love about certain WNBA players that's now coaches in G Leagues. That's how Becky Hammond started. You know what I'm saying? That's how Becky Hammond started, with her finally getting her head coaching position with the Las Vegas Aces. She definitely, interviewed for jobs in the NBA. And I love the fact that retired WNBA players is getting into coaching and getting the opportunity to coach in the NBA. You don't have to be a head coach to have that opportunity in the NBA. You can be an assistant coach and that still be considered an opportunity to get you to that next level, is to be a head coach. So I love the fact that we see Lindsey Harding getting the opportunity. And I feel like Becky Hammond kind of opened up the doors for that. She really did. I think she opened up the doors for that. And it shows that no matter what, you can be a coach in the NBA, male or female. It's that simple. It's just that simple. And I love the fact that she able to get her opportunity to be in head coach. So congratulations to Lindsey Harding to being on JJ Redick's staff. And that's going to help with, LeBron James, going to help with AD. Then now Bronny is there. Dalton Connect is there. She's going to help out with that staff. She's definitely going to help out with that staff. But more news in the NBA, and I know I didn't get a chance to talk about it because we don't do shows on Tuesdays. And that is former NBA player Joe Jellybean Bryant, the father of the Hall of Fame Kobe Bryant, has died at the age of 69. This shocked me through the shockwaves. Man. It just, I was kind of really surprised about this. So the official cause of, Joe Jellybean Bryant's death was not announced on Tuesday morning. LaSalle University, where Bryant played and coached, in a statement that Bryant was a beloved member of the Explorer family and he truly will be missed. Now, longtime Philadelphia area basketball coach Fran Dunphy, who currently is the head coach at LaSalle, told the Philadelphia Inquirer that Bryant recently suffered a massive stroke, which who would have known? But, when it comes to Joe Bryant, definitely being appeared in public after Kobe Bryant's death in a helicopter crash over 4 years ago, the former Los Angeles Lakers superstar told ESPN in 2010 that Joe was a great basketball mind and credited his father with teaching him from the early age on how he viewed the game and how he prepared for the game and how he even executed the game. Now, Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others did die in a helicopter crash in January of 2020 in California. As the group was making their way to the basketball tournament, Joe and Pam Bryant, who was married nearly for half a century, had sometimes a frosty relationship with Kobe, but they were in the front row of the memorial service in Los Angeles about a month after Kobe and Gianna died. Now, we're definitely going to send our condolences upon hearing the news of the father-in-law's passing, which is Vanessa Bryant, which is Kobe Bryant's widow. posted on Tuesday on her Instagram, said, "We hope things would have been different. Although that time we spent together were few, and he always had a sweetheart, nice to be around. Kobe loved him very much." Now, Joe Jellybean Bryant played and coached professionally, both in the United States and starring at LaSalle, where he averaged 20.8 points a game in 2 seasons with the Explorers and a first-round draft selection from the Golden State Warriors back in 1975, before acquiring a later year by the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Joe Jellybean Bryant was a local basketball icon in my city of Philadelphia, whose legacy was on the court transcended his journey across Bartram High School and LaSalle University in his first NBA season with the 76ers from 1975 to 1979. The Sixers said in a statement that our condolences go out to the Bryant family. Doug Young, a former high school teammate of Kobe, said Joe was the ultimate role model. Now, he was a JV. Now, Joe Bryant was a JV coach at Laurel Marion, and he could not ask for a more positive mentor and a role model. Young told ESPN. Now, Bryant was 6'9". He played parts of 8 seasons in the NBA with the Sixers, Clippers, Rockets, and averaged 8.7 points with 4 rebounds in 606 career games. He was a member of the 1976-77 Sixers team who lost to the Trail Blazers in the NBA Finals. Now, he did, after playing the game overseas in France and Italy and stuff of that nature, Bryant started coaching in 1992, and he even coached the Los Angeles Sparks as well. And, for parts of 3 seasons, he also coached various roles from the professional, college, Japan, Thailand. And it's just sad 4 years after we saw the GOAT, Kobe Bryant. It's just crazy, man. It's just sad to hear, like, 4 years later, after one of the greatest players that ever played in this basketball, playing basketball in general, to hear about Jellybean Bryant, man. What's going on, Raphael? What's going on, man? It's tough. It's really tough to lose a father and then to lose a son, lose a grandchild 4 years after that. That is just, I just don't understand it. I mean, God has his ways, you know what I'm saying? God has his ways of, when your time is ready, your time is ready. But that's why you don't live for tomorrow. You live in today. And that's exactly what Joe Bryant did. He lived in today. Even though that his son was gone, he did whatever to keep that Bryant name going. And that Bryant name is still going to be going. Let's not start arguing about the Raiders. We're not even talking about football right now. I'm on some dead serious stuff. I'm not even talking about football right now. But Joe Jellybean Bryant, it kind of hits me more than a lot of people knowing that's Kobe Bryant's father, because he's from my city. He went to Bartram High School. He went to LaSalle. I live a couple blocks away from LaSalle University. I know what that campus looks like on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So just to hear that he passed away at the age of 69, it kind of hurts, losing a Philadelphia legend in himself. But, my condolences of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, our condolences go out to, Jellybean Bryant's family, the whole family, and everything of that nature. So you truly will be missed, but you're always going to be an icon, a basketball legend, whatever. You definitely are that in our eyes in Philadelphia. That's definitely what it is. But let's move on to some brighter things, though, because I got a bone to pick with this NBA draft. Let's just switch gears real quick. Let's just switch gears and let's get to the nitty-gritty of it. Because a lot of people say a lot of things about Bronny James, right? A lot of people saying how he performed in the summer league is not up to the ability of his father, LeBron James. Now, people is so hype about Bronny, they wish him Bronny to fail. But what's the crazy part about this, right? Y'all want Bronny to fail so bad that the Wizards' top rookie, Alex Sarr, was 0 for 15 in the summer league. Let's just be completely honest here. Everybody wants to claim on Bronny and Bronny this and Bronny that. But the top rookie of the Washington Wizards and Alex Sarr goes scoreless on 15 shots. A historic poor showing Tuesday night in the loss to the Portland Trailblazers in the Summer League. 0 for 15 shooting. It was the most field goal attempts by a player without making it. It was the worst field goal attempts. No, not the worst, the most. I'm sorry. It was the most field goal attempts by a player without a make in a Summer League game since 2017. According to ESPN Stats, Information, and Research, it has been a regular season game. Sarr 15 attempts without a field goal, and it will be tied for the second most in NBA history. The number 2 overall pick in last month's NBA draft. Sarr also finished the night with 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks in just under 30 minutes. He missed all 7 of his three-point attempts and free throws. He averaged 6.7 points and 6.5 rebounds in the Summer League. Although he made an impact on the defensive end, averaging 3 blocks, and he has consistently struggled to score efficiently. Now, Sarr is shooting below 35% in all 3 of his games in Las Vegas and shooting 19.5% from the field overall. I understand he's 19 years old. He's from France. He spent the last couple of seasons in Western Australia. I get it. But we got to keep that same energy. I'm sorry. We have to keep that same energy for Alex Sarr, which you do with Bronny James. And I'm sorry. I got to be completely honest with you here, because there's no way that you sit here and scrutinize Bronny and his performances in the Summer League when this man, Alex Sarr, is shooting 0 for 15. 0 for 15. So if you're going to criticize a guy like this, the 55th overall pick in the NBA draft, Bronny James, you're going to have to criticize the number 2 overall pick in the first round in Alex Sarr. I'm sorry, you can't look at that. I mean, Wemby didn't have a great Summer League, but he played okay. He was better than most of the rookies that was there this year. But we're not going to sit here and act like Alex Sarr doesn't get the same energy as Bronny James. As much energy y'all put into Bronny James and how he performs in the Summer League, y'all should be doing the same thing for the number 2 overall pick. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if it's LeBron James' son, his uncle, his nephew. I don't care. You still have to give that same energy to Alex Sarr as the number 2 overall pick. I don't care if it's the Wizards. I don't care if it's OKC. It's the Summer League. You got to show up and show out. Especially if you're the number 2 overall pick. The only reason why Bronny James is getting so the notoriety because he's the son of LeBron James. But outside of being LeBron James' son, Alex Sarr shouldn't have no 0 for 15. Y'all gonna keep that. Y'all gotta keep that same energy. That's all I'm gonna say. Because of the last name. But I'm sorry. If you're gonna talk about somebody's performance, talk about Alex Sarr's performance. Keep that same energy with every rookie that plays horrible. Keep that same energy. Bronny James is just another rookie that's just trying to make his way in. But this is the number 2 overall pick. The number 2, not the number 55th, almost damn near the end of the second round. This is the number 2 overall pick. This is the player that the Wizards decided to go after, and he goes 0 for 15 in the Summer League. He's going to have a rude awakening when the NBA season starts, because he's going to have, for me, Bronny James doesn't have that higher expectation than Alex Sarr, because Alex Sarr is going to have to start doing something now because he's the number 2 overall pick. If I am JJ Redick, I am not rushing Bronny James on the floor. I'm not. But Alex Sarr, he's going to be rushed on the floor because he's the number 2 overall pick. He's going to have to be the turnaround for the Washington Wizards. He's going to have to be. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to be real with you. Alex Sarr and Bronny James are just 2 rookies trying to make it through. But at the end of the day, if we're going to criticize Bronny James as much as we do, we got to keep the same energy for every rookie in the NBA. That is a known fact. Y'all kill me with that, man. Y'all kill me with that. But we have some other news around the NBA real quick. I'm not going to go too far into it. Bronny James is going to play because that's what the media wants. Plus, it will sell tickets. They sell tickets with LeBron James anyway. So until LeBron James retires, then Bronny James will sell tickets. But as long as LeBron James and Anthony Davis is a Laker, they're going to sell tickets regardless. But we have other news in the NBA. I wanted to go over those three main topics here. But we have Patrick Beverley signing with the Israel team. Now that's weird, right? Oh, no, you good. But it's all good. Makes sense, TV. It's all good. But Patrick Beverley signs with the Israel team. He leaves the NBA to go overseas. Now, I'm not going to get too far into this, but that's pretty weird to me. I mean, Patrick Bev was one of those guys that people didn't like in the league. I understand that he didn't score that much. He didn't do a lot of things offensively, but defensively, he really got into your head. He played mind games with you as a defensive player. So for him to leave the NBA to go and play for the Israel team, I'm confused about that. Which I don't completely understand why he did it. Like it's just like what? You leave one of the best basketball leagues in the world to go play for an Israel team. Yeah, I'm not too fathom about that, but it is what it is. You know, the Bucks did sign Gary Trent Jr. to a 1-year deal, and I think this is a big move for the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a big move for them. I think, it helps out your guard play. Gary Trent Jr. is not a slouch. He's not the best player. It's not the best. But other than that, I do like the move. They're going out and getting Gary Trent Jr. to help out with this second unit for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that's really good. I think it's really good. We heard reports of, Middleton had ankle surgeries. So, he's recovering from ankle surgeries on both ankles this offseason, multiple reports to Wednesday. The 3-time All-Star reportedly expected to be ready by the 2024-2025 season. He did miss 55 games last season in a bunker time on the sideline, coming after a sprained ankle on February 6th game against the Phoenix Suns. Both ankles is crazy. And I really hope he gets back. It helps Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard and those boys get better. I really hope so. But that is all your NBA news for today. That is all your NBA news for today. We did have some news about Kyrie Irving, for the Mavericks. He had a broken hand. He's definitely recovering from that. So that's basically what it is when it comes to everything, when it comes to that. For the NBA. But let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on real quick. We have some WNBA that we really have to talk about. So let's get straight into it, man. Let's get straight into it. We did have a game at 1:00 today. We sure did have a game at 1:00, which I was not able to do, or which I was not able to watch due to the fact that I was at work watching the Team USA game. So we did have the Atlanta Dream play the Minnesota Lynx, and the Minnesota Lynx ended up winning 86-79, which we had some good matchups here when it comes to this box score and when it comes to this play-by-play. So we had Tina Charles with 12 points is the team high for the Atlanta Dream, and you had Parker, what's her name? Parkers Tyrus, yes, Shanae Parkers Tyrus, that did have 15 points for and had 15 points off the bench, 16 points off the bench for the Atlanta Dream. And then you had 30 points from Caleb McBride, another girl that's very underestimated in here. So I'm not going to sit here and lie about the Minnesota Lynx. They are a really good basketball team. They are 17-8, 11-3 at home. And I got to say that they played really well. The second one, that was Elena Smith, that she did have 13 points in this game as well. And then you have Heineman. I forgot her name. Natasha Heineman, the former Connecticut Sun that came off the bench. And she had 18 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 11 plus from the field. So at the end of the day, the Atlanta Dream did lose this game to the Minnesota Lynx 86-79. And it will be a game on tonight with the Indiana Fever and the Dallas Wings. The Indiana Fever is definitely making their way, trying to get into the standings and get into those playoffs. And Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and what's her name? Kelsey Mitchell, another one that's playing really, really well for the Indiana Fever, and it's getting some buzz. It's definitely getting some buzz. So another thing just came down. So And I'm really shocked about this because this is some breaking news coming out of the WNBA, and I'm really, really shocked about this. Now, the Connecticut Sun, around 4 o'clock, the Connecticut Sun did a trade. And I'm really surprised about this trade. And the Connecticut Sun, acquired guard Marina Mabre in a trade for the Sky. Now, the Sun do acquire the veteran Marina Mabre from the Sky Wednesday in a trade that includes 2 players and Connecticut's 2025 first-round pick heading to Chicago. Now, the Sky will require guard Rachel Banham and Mariah Jefferson from the Sun and to swap the first-round picks in 2026. Now, the Connecticut Sun also requires Chicago's 2025 second-round pick in this trade. Now, the Connecticut Sun did come out and said, we are extremely excited for welcoming Marina Mabre to the Connecticut Sun. She is a player that we feel that gives us an extra edge to compete for a championship this year. This Connecticut Sun's general manager, Darius Taylor, said in a statement that she brings a competitive spirit and score and mentality along with the ability to make plays. I believe Stephanie and her staff will be able to utilize Marina in ways that we will start the second half of our season and continue our request for our first title. Now, the Sun right now is 18-6 in second place in the WNBA standings, 2.5 games behind the New York Liberty at the Olympic break. Now, the Sky is 10-14 and are currently sitting 8th in the standings. Now, Marina Mabre is 27 years old and was averaging 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists in 23 games and shooting 34.4% from the three-point range. And she's only originally drafted the 19th overall pick by the Los Angeles Sparks in 2019. This was her second season with the Sky. Now, when it comes on the opposite side of things, when it comes to Banham, is 31 years old, averaging 4.9 points in 20 games this season, while Jefferson is 30 years old, averaging 2.1 in 9 games. Now, Banham has played for Connecticut and Minnesota during her 9-year career, and Jefferson taking 2 picks before Banham in the 2016 WNBA draft to San Antonio, which was the San Antonio Stars at that time, played in Las Vegas, played in Minnesota, played in Dallas, played in Phoenix. And with the Mercury, she did average 10.5 points, 3.5 steals, and she's been plagued with knee injuries over her career and only played in 9 games this season. I don't like this trade at all for the Chicago Sky. I don't like this trade at all. I think you should have kept Marina Mabre to have her on this team. Like, I understand that the Sun want to do everything they can to try to win a championship and try to compete with the New York Liberty. I get it. I absolutely get it. But this trade was horrible. It was a horrible trade. Chicago should have never got rid of her for 2 30-year-old players that's not even averaging 10 plus points a game this season. Banham, 31 years old. Jefferson, 30 years old. They're at the end of their careers at this moment to give up a young player in Mabre, which averaging 14 points and shooting 34% from the 3. That's crazy. I would never do that. I understand that you got a draft pick in that, but that player swap, Marina Mabre is better than both of them combined. She's better than both of them combined. And you send her to the second best team in the league in the Connecticut Sun? Wow, that's crazy. Damn, that just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. I don't know what the Chicago Sky is trying to do. Even though you're 8th right now, you are in the race to get into the playoffs, and you're right there with the Indiana Fever. You give up one of your double-figure scores to go get 2 players that probably won't even play the rest of the season. I got to make it make sense for me. You really do. You got to make it make sense for me to be like, why is this happening? Because the Chicago Sky just gave up a great player to help them get a playoff push. Definitely did. And I'm very surprised about this move. Very, very surprised about this move. So, let's talk about a little bit about Angel Reese. Speaking of the 2024 WNBA season. So we have 10 facts from the first half of this season. 10 facts. And these 10 facts is pretty interesting, ladies and gentlemen. these 10 facts are pretty interesting. So the first fact that we have is that the experts was wrong about Angel Reese. The Chicago forward is running a WNBA rookie year as the number 7 overall pick, while Reese was who leading the WNBA in rebounding and set a league consecutive of double-double record at 15, is not taken higher. Several talent evaluations question whether her game would translate to the WNBA. Some experts seem that they have overestimated her weakness, such as shooting, range, and undervaluing her strengths, such as a rebounder in a defense and motor. But it has worked out for her. It worked out for Angel Reese in Chicago with her first year under Teresa Weatherspoon, playing alongside 6'7" Camila Cardoso. And Reese ranks second in the WNBA in total rebounds, trailing the MVP frontrunner in Angel Wilson, respectfully, in rebounds per game. And again, narrowly trailing Angel Wilson with 12, and Angel Reese have 9. So that's one of the facts that we have from the first half of this season. DeJounte Carrington from the Connecticut Sun was one of the biggest myths of her draft class. Definitely. In the 2021 WNBA draft class, I'd have to say, that draft class definitely underperformed, compared to most classes, because it's hard to gauge on how much, the pandemic happened with COVID-19, taking away the 2020, NCAA tournament and being cloud over the 2020-2021 college season impacted the class. It really did. And by the WNBA teams underestimating Carrington, who was picked number 20 by the Connecticut Sun. Now, I have to say that Carrington, who was played at Stanford and Baylor and was slotted number 11 in the year's final ESPN mock draft, not even seemed too low considering how well she played. She played well offensively and defensively this season for the Connecticut Sun. Of the 19 players drafted before her, only 5 are currently on a WNBA roster. Carrington is our mid-season pick for most improved player. Now, we want to talk about lockdown defender. Carrington is probably one of the best defenders in the league when it comes to that. When defending Caitlin Clark on May 14th, she was 2 of 9. Ariel Atkins, 0 for 7. Kalia Copper, 0 for 3. Arika Aguiwale, 2 of 9. Chelsea Gray, 0 for 3. And Jewel Lloyd, 1 for 5. That is a resume for DhopkinsShow Carrington. That is a hell of a resume for her. So I love it. I love that they definitely put her on here about, the next fact. Now, the third fact that you have for the first half of the WNBA season is the Sparks, the Mystics, have entered the Paige Becker sweepstakes. The Paige Becker sweepstakes. It's never too early to talk about the 2025 WNBA draft. It's just not. Especially with a player promising as UConn's Paige Beckers waiting in the wings to be drafted. Now, bearing some major developments that the Los Angeles Sparks at 6-18 and the Washington Mystics at 6-19 will likely have the greatest odds of getting the top pick in next spring's draft, which is entirely shocking considering both teams have been in rebuild mode. Now, we have to remember, now as a team collective, a 2-year record, which matters for the lottery, while the Sparks and the Mystics might have better odds than the Wings, which is 5-19, who are in last place in the current WNBA standings, but also finished 4th best record in 2023. With the Dream currently in 9th in standings, trading away the first-round pick transaction of Alicia Gray to Atlanta, and that pick since ended up in the hands of the Washington Mystics. Another fact, just how motivated Angel Wilson is. Like, for real. Like, how motivated she is. Angel Wilson is, what she's doing right now is one of the best seasons in WNBA history. Amid her absolute tear of a run in 2024 so far, she has cited as the year's notorious 4th place MVP vote. As a part of her motivation, she came in 3rd in 2023 race, narrowly behind Breanna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas. This time around, Wilson is leaving no room for doubt at all that she, in the first half of this season, looks to be on her way to becoming the 4th player in history to win MVP the last 3 times. Only people that was able to do that was Lauren Jackson, Cheryl Swoops, and Lisa Leslie. Even though Tuesday Wilson had tell at least 25 points and 10 rebounds in 12 games. This summer, in the most season in WNBA, her 6 consecutive games for at least 20 points and 10 rebounds are a WNBA regular season record. Carter and Diggins Smith, and Charles Fonzie fit. Nagar Kennedy Carter, Skylar Diggins, center Tina Charles, all former lottery picks, didn't play in the WNBA in 2023. But it was a little bit more uncertain whether you could find each right scenarios to return to the league. But this season, they are helping their new teams. Now, Carter leads Chicago in scoring. Diggins is a top in assists for the Storm, and Tina Charles leads the Atlanta Dream in rebounding. Carter just 25, Charles is 35, and Skylar Diggins Smith is 34 in August after a different stage of their careers, but their talent has a league-wide impact. You know, and when it comes to so many other stuff going on here, you know, you have Caitlin Clark with excels with her adjustments, you know, with her defense geared up against so many of great players in this league. You know, Clark has committing a league high of 5.5 turnovers per game, but she's still young. Caitlin Clark is that girl. Yet the Indiana Fever point guard is already adjusted to the frequent blitzing that she got, especially in the beginning of the season. She's getting accustomed to that. Like, okay, y'all want this more? I'm gonna beat y'all this way. She's making adjustments as herself. You know what I'm saying? She is the first rookie in WNBA history to tally a triple-double. That's true. And I love the fact that she's able to sit here and get better over and over and over again. She's going to get better, y'all. She will be better. Now, Salaby makes her difference in Dallas. Now, Santu Salaby led the Dallas Wings to a 4th place regular season finish last season while earning MVP votes and first team All WNBA nod for Most Improved Player award. Now, Salaby, who has yet to play this season, that's recovering from a shoulder injury, the Wings have struggled most of the year, being in last place in the standings at 5-19. Now, how you go from being in the damn near in the WNBA finals to being the worst team in the league? See, that's the thing about sports. You could be high and then you could be low, especially when you have a star like Salaby that's not on the floor. You got to think about it. Maddie Siegrist is a finger. Jalen Brown, Natasha Howard Foot was sidelined for 12 games. Dallas Wings are just beat up by injuries. That's why they have the record that they have. But I'm not going to be surprised by that, you know, with all the top players being hurt. It makes sense. It makes sense why they have that record. The Mercury could be the 2024 version of the 2021 Sky. Ooh, I don't know if that's a fact or not. I mean, because my Aces is the top seeded team in the playoffs when they won the last 2 WNBA titles. But in 2021, the 6th seeded Chicago Sky was a regular 16-16 season record and went on a run to win the championship with Kalia Copper and Kansas Parker of those girls. It might not seem the most probable scenario, but the Phoenix Mercury had the talent to make a high-octane offense and to make a deep run with a 13-12 record after Tuesday's road win over the Washington Mystics. You still have Diana Taurasi. You still have Brittany Griner. You still have Natasha Cloud. You still have one that all won championships and Aaliyah Clapper being a finals MVP with that 2021 Chicago squad. I mean, if they could stay healthy, they could probably make a run in this playoffs. But I don't know about them making that same exact run as that Chicago Sky squad. That Chicago Sky squad was special. Was really, really special. The Minnesota Lynx have a championship chemistry again. Keep a lookout for the Minnesota Lynx. People are not talking about them. Keep a lookout for them. Even though they're 17-8 right now, and you know, Minnesota dynasty years with 6 trips to the WNBA finals in 7 seasons when it came to 2011 to 2017. Like they won 4 championships, especially with Maya Moore, Sylvia Fowles, Rebecca Brunson, Lindsay Whalen, Simone Augustus. That was the original core with those girls. And Cheryl Reeves, who had coached the Lynx since 2010, getting Nafisa Collar lead the squad with this chemistry. And they won the Commissioner Cup over a good New York Liberty team. man. We have some heck of a stuff going on with WBA, and I love it. I love it so much. I really do. And the New York Liberty might be better than what they were last year. This is the last fact that we have before we go into the WNBA break. The New York Liberty might be better than what they were last year, but the Liberty were built as a super team last year. Arguably, probably even better now with Jaquel Jones, Sabrina Ionescu have been, more dominant, and Jones is looking like her former MVP self. Sabrina Ionescu is playing at an all WNBA first team level. Retool bench with major difference makers in, Leonie Freiberg, making a strong case for the all rookie team. The defense is not that perfect, but it does have a great ceiling with Sandy Branadello to lean on the defensive mind of the group of Freiberg with Kayla Thornton and Kennedy Burke. These girls is good, man. And with a year playing together, New York chemistry on both ends grows the game. Whether it translates to the franchise first WNBA title remains to be seen, but particularly, some contenders this year in the Aces are looking to make a push now with full health with Chelsea Gray coming back. Whew! Man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen. But that was New York did Angel Reese dirty last game at the end with the entire double. You know what? You absolutely right about that. They would not try to give my girl Angel Reese another double-double. They just would not do it. They would not do it at all. So me personally, I really hope that, Angel Reese could go back on her streak again. But it's been a lot of great news in the WNBA in this first half. We're about to go to the All-Star game with Team USA versus WNBA All-Stars, which that's on Sunday. Then they have the Olympic break. So hopefully I could probably do some play-by-play of the men's basketball games and the women's basketball games for Team USA. That's going to be very interesting to watch. But yeah, man. But we got through NBA. We got through WNBA in the first hour of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. We will be back after a few messages here. We are on the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, and we'll see y'all in a second, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be right back with some MLB. We're going to talk about the MLB All-Star game. We're going to talk about the MVP of the All-Star game. And we have some NFL news going on as well with Devontae Adams and so many others, with Romeo Odunze and Caleb Williams getting some deals before training camp starts. So we're going to talk pretty more about that and why, other things that's going on around the league in the NFL. And we will be back. It's the Darion Hopkins Sports Show.
Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
This episode of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience best events in town, all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use the promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets. Are you ready to take your energy to the next level? W Energy is a proud sponsor of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, your go-to source for all things sports. W Energy isn't just another drink. It's packed with natural ingredients, zero sugar, and no fillers. Whether you're training like me, grinding through work, or just leveling up on your favorite game, W got you covered. The Darion Hopkins Sports Show is powered by W Energy, and you can be too. Experience the sustained energy and enhanced focus to keep me at the top of my game. Here's an exclusive offer for the Darion Hopkins Sports Show fans. Using promo code DHopkins at checkout and get 10% off your first purchase. So don't wait. Boost your energy and take the world today. W Energy. Fuel your greatness every step of the way. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. My name is Darion of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, and we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Rumble, ladies and gentlemen. And follow us on all social medias at the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. We really do appreciate y'all coming back for this second half of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. And we are here and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. But let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. And that is the All-Star game, ladies and gentlemen, the All-Star game for Major League Baseball. We had a heck of a Major League Baseball game yesterday, and Jarren Duran is named the All-Star MVP after the home run that fuels the Atlantic League win here. And they definitely got the win. It was a good, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a good game. It was a good All-Star game, and I didn't watch. I was supposed to go live for it, but I just had not to because I was in a meeting for about 2 hours. And you had the American League beat the National League, 5-3, and it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. I could say it was it was a good game. It was a good game. I'm not really too big on baseball, but it was a very interesting game. It was very close. And the American League was able to, get the dub over the National League. Now, we had a few runs here. We had a few entertaining moves here with the MLB All-Star game. But like I said, it was very interesting to watch. I really don't watch the MLB All-Star game, and the fact that I actually was able to watch it and probably enjoy myself watching it, it was pretty fun to watch. But Jarren Duran, like I said before, the only, on a night that Paul Seekers of the Major League Baseball pitching phenom was told on the rubber of the historic All-Star game. Now, Shohei Ohtani, the sport's brightest global superstar, demolished a home run for the National League. And it was a 27-year-old former top prospect enjoying a breakout season who was a difference in the 2024 All-Star game yesterday. Now, the Boston Red Sox center fielder, Jarren Duran, his first time All-Star in his second season as a everyday player, completed the American League comeback 5-3 victory at Global Life Field, and with a 2-run homer off the Cincinnati Reds fireballer pitcher Hunter Green. Now, I can say that. I can definitely say that. Let's talk about how to fund the All-Star week in Texas. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the home run derby because I think we already talked about that on Monday's show. Kind of talked about that on Monday's show, and how T. Escobar Hernandez did win the home run derby. So that was a great home run derby on top of that. Not going to take nothing away from the home run derby. I'm just not. It was a great competition for the home run derby and stuff of that nature. But, the blast of Duran, became the first Red Sox player since DJ Drew in 2008, was the 5th franchise in history to earn the game's MVP award. Named after Ted Williams, a 19-time All-Star and the consistent greatest player in Red Sox history. Now, as far as the home run derby go, it was really, really good. I was surprised that your guy Nola was nominated in the game. He does pretty good for my fantasy when he starts. Yeah, Gunnar Henderson let me down. Why? What makes you think Gunnar Henderson let you down though? Why he let you down? But according to Jarren Duran, he did say that this is an honor, and he would love to want to try to follow in his footsteps of. Now, Duran is putting the finishing touches on a comeback required after Ohtani smashed a 400-foot 3-run homer against the Red Sox right-hander Tanner Houck. I think that's how you say it, to open up the scoring in the 3rd inning. It was the Los Angeles Dodgers designated hitter and first career all-time All-Star home run in the second by a Dodgers player since Mike Piazza in 1996. Now, Ichiro Suzuki inside the park homer in 2007 that has been the only home run by a Japanese-born player in All-Star game history. Now, Ohtani, who walked his first plate appearance and entered Tuesday with his 4th career All-Star game, 104 with only 2 walks. In general, he haven't really hit well during the All-Star game. He just relieved that he was able to put a good ball in play. That's what Ohtani said. And he said that he was really focused on having a regular bat if it was considered the regular season. Now, Hawk or Hawk, whatever how you pronounce it, was the first Red Sox pitcher to give up an All-Star game home run since Roger Clemens in 1991. Now, the National League didn't score again and ended up being the shortest All-Star game at 2 hours and 28 minutes since 1998. Woo! Only 2 hours in 28 minutes? That's interesting. That's what you know when the rules are changing for MLB. The rules are changing. And they're changing to a core where the game is a little bit faster. I thought the All-Star game was going to be like a 4-hour show. But it wasn't. And I love the fact that it was only 2 hours and 28 minutes. I love that. Don't drag it out. Kirby Yates is the best closer. Yes, he is. He's the best closer in Major League Baseball. 100% agree there. 100% agree there. You know, the quick exposition game, started to begin a lot of dose of drama with Juan Soto's exceptional skill, and the trait that he placed them on the path as a first ballot Hall of Famer status is an uncanny ability to reach base. Never has a baseball universe in a unison wanted to see the New York Yankees right fielder get a job done more than the first inning on Tuesday. But the pressure began to mount on Monday when the American League All-Star team manager and Bruce Bochy announced the lineup, surprisingly that he had Yankee center fielder leading the American League MVP candidate, Aaron Judge, batting fourth. So to top it all off, y'all, the American League won 10 of the last 11 All-Star games dating back to 2013. The only loss in that span was in 2023. Now, the American League overcame a 3-0 deficit with 5 unanswered runs. Most unanswered runs after trailing to win the All-Star game since 2011 when the National League won it 5-1. Now, the American League first team to win an All-Star game by multiple runs after trailing by multiple runs since 1993, with the American League 2-0 and won 9-3. With Jarred Duran, the 5th Red Sox player to win the All-Star Game MVP, joining J.D. Drew in 2008, Pedro Martinez in 1999, Roger Clemens in 1986, which is my born year, and Carl Yesinkpi, I don't know how to say it, back in 1970. Sorry, I butcher names really badly. I'm sorry. Juan Soto, 1 for 1, 2 RBIs, and the third Yankee with multiple RBIs in the All-Star game, joining Giancarlo Stanton in 2017 and Derek Jeter in 2000. Shohei Ohtani, 1 of 2 in a home run with 3 RBIs. First career home run in an All-Star game. First Dodger to homer in an All-Star game since Mike Piazza in 1996. Paul Sinkins, one batted base, joined Justin Verlander and Chris Sale as the only starting pitchers in pitch tracking era since 2008 to throw multiple 100-mile pitches in an All-Star game. Pretty interesting stuff, man. He's a Hall of Fame manager. Absolutely. 16 saves this year. I said it, I butcher names so badly. Man, Darion, the Dodgers fans can always have their hopes up. I have your Phillies winning the entire, knocking out the Dodgers in the NLCS. Hey, when it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? When it happens, it happens. But, Jarren Duran winning the All-Star MVP, Teoscar Hernandez winning the Home Run Derby. It was so much competitiveness going on with the MLB. It was really fun to watch. Really fun to watch and really fun to talk about on the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. So it was very, very fun to do at the end of the day. But shout out to the American League. Shout out to y'all for winning the All-Star game and winning so many other things that happened with it. But we don't have no games on tonight. They still on break. So they won't come back. MLB won't be back on until Friday. So we don't have no predictions and no later games tonight because there's no baseball on tonight, just to let everyone know. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of things, ladies and gentlemen. The last topics are talking about the National Football League. We have a few topics to talk about here, and especially with Brandon Ayuk. The news came out yesterday that wide receiver of the San Francisco 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, requested a trade from the 49ers, sources say. Now, sources tell ESPN Adam Schefter on Tuesday that other teams that had reached out to the 49ers that have been told to the team has no intentions of trading him. Now, Brandon Ayuk request comes a week before the veterans are slated to report to Niners training camp and about 3 weeks after Ayuk and the Niners met in Santa Clara to discuss the situation. NFL Network first reported the trade request. Now, with 1 year remaining on his rookie contract, Brandon Ayuk is seeking a big money extension and a line of those of wideouts that have earned their deals this offseason, with the Eagles' A.J. Brown and the Lions' Armand St. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Miami Dolphins' Jalen Waddle. Now, the highest when it comes to current wide receiver contracts, you got Justin Jefferson with $35 million a year, A.J. Brown with $32 million a year, Armand St. Brown with Detroit, $30 million a year, Tyreek Hill, $30 million a year, Jalen Waddle, $28 million a year, Devontae Adams, $28 million a year, Cooper Kupp at $26 million a year, Devontae Smith at $25 million a year, and Nico Collins at $24.5 million this year. Now, Brandon Ayuk is set to make $14.12 million in 2024, and it'll be the fifth and final year of his rookie contract. Now, various points in this offense, Ayuk has tried to apply pressure to the 49ers to get a deal done sooner than usual in the late summer timeline. But here's the social media voice of a displeasure, even posted a TikTok video of himself and former Arizona State teammate, current Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels on FaceTime that the Niners don't want him back. But Brandon Ayuk has stopped the sort of requesting the trade until Tuesday. Now, the league source did tell ESPN Jeremy Fowler that Ayuk wants to be traded or paid. San Francisco doesn't want to pay him relatively to the market value or trade him. Now, despite the request of San Francisco position on Ayuk has not changed. The Niners have maintained a long that they know that they want to pay Ayuk and keep him around for a long term. But that has been made more difficult by the rising cost of receivers based on other deals that have been signed in this offseason. Now, Ayuk's trade request also doesn't guarantee that he will be dealt. In fact, the Niners have recently precedented declining to grant the trade request to a receiver wanting big money deal and eventually signing him. Just for a prime example, with Niners wideout Deebo Samuel Sr. when he requested a trade back in 2022, in the offense, although the Niners listened to the offers of that year in the NFL draft, they held on to Deebo Samuel and signed him through a 3-year worth of $73.5 million in 2022 on July 31st. The former kicker Robbie Gould also requested a trade from the Niners back in April of 2019, but eventually signed a 4-year extension on July 15, 2019. Ayuk is coming off of a break-off season with 75 catches, 1,342 yards, and 7 touchdowns on his way to a second-team All-Pro nod. Now, if Ayuk doesn't sign a new deal or get traded before training camp, he expected to avoid participating until his contract situation is resolved. He did not participate in team mandatory camps, incurring fines of $101,000 for missing it. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with this, right? The problem is if you trade for him, you have to pay him big money. The 49ers knew something was going to happen when they drafted 2 wide receivers. People overlook him because Deebo and CMC is getting the attention. It's not even just that. If you look how this roster is built, right? Eventually, Brock Purdy is going to get paid. This is a quarterback-driven league. And I understand those guys want to get, I understand that those guys want to get their big money. But Brock Purdy's on a rookie contract. Now, if you go and sign Brandon Ayuk to this money, Where's the money's going to be at for Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy's already been to a Super Bowl. He already took the two NFC championships. Who's more viable here? Brandon Ayuk or Brock Purdy? And I know CMC and Debo is those guys, and George Kittle got a big contract. If you look at the money side of things, George Kittle, Debo Samuel, CMC, then you got to pay Brock Purdy. Then you got to keep this defense the way it is. At this point, you just got to find the best fit for him. I know you don't want to trade him and you don't want to pay him, but the 49ers, you're stuck at a rock and a hard place at this point with Brandon Ayuk. Because you're saying you don't want to pay him, but you don't want to trade him, but you want him to play under a $14 million guaranteed contract? Knowing that he puts up numbers like a number one receiver? Like, you got to make it make sense, San Francisco. You got to make it make sense. How are you going to extend him and give him the money that he wants? And then when Brock Purdy comes around, then you're stuck. You can't give Brock Purdy the money that he has because you gave that money to Brandon Ayuk. And I agree with Anthony Price. You have to pay Purdy early before the market goes up for quarterbacks. It's a fact. It's a known fact. You have to do that. There's no way that you sit here and you pay Ayuk all his money, but you still got Purdy on a rookie contract. It doesn't make sense. It don't make sense at all. But Brandon Ayuk, if you want to be here and you want to play out your contract and be a free agent next season and then move on instead of requesting a trade. Just do that. That means both of y'all can be wiped out. Both of y'all can go your ways and you can move on. But it's so many places that he can go and play well and get this big money. But I just don't see him being a top 5 paid receiver. I just don't see that. When I know it's 7 to 8 other receivers that's better than him better than him right now. And Dan Orlovsky said that if Brandon Ayuk is not on this 49ers team, they don't consider them contenders. And you know what? I'm not a big fan of Dan Orlovsky on ESPN. I'm not a big fan, but I have to agree. I have to agree. Because I understand you have 2 young receivers that you got in the draft, which is pretty good. They are pretty good. But at the same time, I just don't see them replacing the numbers of the deep ball of Brandon Ayuk. If he's going to get his money, he should go to New England or Pittsburgh. Agree. I think he should go to New England. New England would love Brandon Ayuk. But you got to think about it. It's a young quarterback in Drake May. But if he goes to Pittsburgh with George Pickens and them boys, and then you got Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, now Pittsburgh makes a lot more sense than New England. Because you already have a quarterback situation here. You have a great defense. You have Najee Harris. You got a lot of other teams in this league that can get him. A lot of other teams that could go and get him. And it goes up to this rumor of the Las Vegas Raiders trying to trade Davante Adams for Brandon Ayuk. That's not going to happen. And I would love, don't get me wrong, I think it would be great for both teams when it comes to Davante Adams being on the San Francisco 49ers and Brandon Ayuk being on the Las Vegas Raiders. I get it, but it's not going to happen. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Davante Adams would not be traded. ESPN, CBS, any of y'all can say that. Davante Adams will not be traded. He's going to play the rest of the year in the silver and black. He will not be traded. I don't care how much they say he wants to play with Aaron Rodgers. If y'all did not watch the interview with Club Shay Shay, y'all definitely need to go watch it with him and Davante Adams. Hell of an interview. It's blasphemous. So, like I said before, when it comes to Davante Adams, he's not leaving Las Vegas. He's going to play it out. He's going to see what Antonio Pierce do as a coach this year. But can I say he's fed up? Oh, hell yeah, he's fed up. The Raiders need to win this year if they want to keep Davante Adams around and keep him happy. They have to win this year. So it's a lot of pressure on Antonio Pierce. It's a lot of pressure on this Raiders team to win football games. And the fact that we got Brock Bowers, that takes a lot off of Davante Adams and Michael Mayer and Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker and so many other wide receivers that we had. Takes a lot off of Zamir White, too. So when it comes to rumors for Devontae, I'm going to say this again. PSA. Devontae Adams would not be traded this year. He's not going to no Jets, and he damn sure ain't going to no San Francisco 49ers. That is a fact. That is a known fact. We're going to nip that in the bud right now. So let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. I got two. I picked out two with the Stones. I took two topics away from the NFL, talking about Brandon Ayuk and Devontae Adams. Sure did. But the Bears, the Chicago Bears, have reached deals with first rounders Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. Sure will. And on the day the rookies report to Hallis Hall for training camp, quarterback Caleb Williams and wide receiver Rome Odunze was the first and ninth overall picks in the drafted by the Bears in this year's draft, reached the agreement of their prospective rookie contracts this Tuesday. Now, Williams did sign a 4-year, $39.4 million with $25 million of that guaranteed signing bonus on Wednesday. Now, Odunze signs a 4-year, $22.7 million containing $13.5 million signing that was on Tuesday. Both contracts are fully guaranteed and contain a 5th-year option through 2028. Now, Chicago will begin their training camp practices on July 20th after veterans report this Friday. Now, the Bears and the Texans are the teams to begin training camp ahead of facing each other in the annual Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio on August 1st. Now, Williams and Odunze were among the last five first-round picks signed to their contracts, and Williams, who was not represented by the NFLPA certified agent, has expressed optimism to the team that surround him, will handle his negotiations and prepare for this preseason. So Williams said that he's not handling that, according to the Chicago Tribune, that during his inaugural Caleb Cares Foundation with the event in Chicago on last Saturday, that his lawyers and his attorneys that everybody will lead the Bears, everybody up there, at the top handling this is not his position, and that he's handling at this point. But the Bears will be featured on the HBO Hard Knocks for the first time since the annual training camp miniseries began in the 2000s. And I'm happy that Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze got their contracts, because you want these rookies to start on time. You want these rookies to get as many reps as they can until the regular season starts. Because now if you have rookies like Williams and Rome Odunze hold out during this training camp, you lose the chemistry. You got new wide receivers. Keenan Allen is there. You still got DJ Moore that still got to build a chemistry with Caleb Williams. You got Cole Kmet that has to build a relationship with Caleb Williams. So this is all a brand new process for the Chicago Bears offense at this point. So when it comes down to it, Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze is going to be the young core, and then you have DJ Moore and you have Keenan Allen and Cole Kmet as your veterans. Now, my question for the Chicago Bears: now you paid your wide receiver, you paid your quarterback, you went out and got a veteran receiver on the opposite side of DJ Moore. Now, are you going to invest more into your offensive line? That is the biggest question for the Chicago Bears going into the season. How would you protect Caleb Williams now that he's under contract and he will be there for the first training camp? That's the biggest question that I have with the Chicago Bears. That's what I really do have that biggest issue with them. But I think it's a good move for the Chicago Bears to able to get it done. And I love that. I really do love that. So before we get into anything, I do want to go over this real quick. And I've seen this. I've seen this, the top 10 wide receivers by coaches and executives and stuff of that nature. And it's a pretty interesting list. And hopefully that I can find it, because I did the top 10 quarterbacks. We did that on the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, on Monday. But we regular the top 10 wide receiver list now. And this is mind you, this is by the NFL insiders. These are by the executive. These are by the coaches. if these are by anybody that sees the game the way they see the game. This is not my list. Just to throw it out there, this is not my list. But just throw it out there, y'all. ESPN Jeremy Fowler relayed the results of the survey of NFL executive coaches and scouts that asked to rank the top 10 players at a different positions. Now, wide receiver list was released today, and Jefferson checks on top. Justin Jefferson at number 1. Tyreek Hill at number 2. Jamar Chase at number 3. CeeDee Lamb at number 4. Devontae Adams at number 5. A.J. Brown at 6. Armand St. Brown at 7. Mike Evans at 8. Stephon Diggs at 9. And Brandon Ayuk at 10. Now, it's hard to argue Justin Jefferson being number 1 because in just 4 years in the league, he's already has a resume that includes Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowl selections, 3 seasons with at least 1,400 receiving yards. And he even reached the 1,000-yard mark last season with injuries, just limited him to 10 games. Can't even be mad at that. You know, your play speed, consistent production, instinct, elite hands, do it all route runner, as an NFL personnel figure says about Jefferson game. Now, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, and Devontae Adams round out the top 5, and they will appear to be well on their way reaching Hall of Fame after their playing days. You know, Tyreek Hill particularly stands out, you know, as going from a Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs and leading the Miami Dolphins to improve that production. With Tyreek Hill, you know, with 1,799 receiving yards last season, which was the second straight year with more than 1,700 yards through the air. His speed, the way he prepares, everything. Tyreek Hill is just that good. But one notable inclusion that you have in the top 10, Stephon Diggs will be on a different team this season after the Buffalo Bills traded him to the Houston Texans. Now, when it comes to the most polarizing figure on this list, with the ranking as high as number 5 and others leaving him out the top 10. Now, it's a testament to Diggs' consistency throughout his 1,183 receiving yards. It was something down this season for him in 2023. Now, he may not be the only receiver on this list to switch teams this offseason because we still don't know the situation with Brandon Ayuk and the San Francisco 49ers, which peeps out at 10. Although ESPN Adam Schefter noted that the 49ers have no intention of trading him, it will be a storyline to watch during training camp begins. But I'm going to throw this out there for y'all again, y'all, just to give y'all this top 10. Brandon Ayuk at 10, Stephon Diggs at 9, Mike Evans at 8, Armand St. Brown at 7, A.J. Brown at 6, Devontae Adams at 5, CeeDee Lamb at 4, Jamar Chase at 3, Tyreek Hill at 2, and Justin Jefferson at 1. Please let me know in the comments what y'all think about this list. Because Brandon Ayuk is a top 10, but not Deebo Samuel. But I understand why. Deebo Samuel is more of an all-around receiver that you can place him at running back. You can place him in a slide. I mean, George Pickens could be up on this list. There's a lot of other receivers that you can name could be up on this list, but I'm not mad at this list. Devontae Smith could be on this list on the side of, you know, A.J. Brown. Terry McLaurin could be on this list. And, you know, I'm not really a Commanders fan, but Terry McLaurin is definitely a guy that probably could be noticeable on this list outside of Brandon Ayuk. That's just me being personal here. Deebo's been injured. That's another reason. But I'm not mad at this list. I'm not mad at Justin Jefferson at 1. I'm not mad at Tyreek Hill at 2. I'm not mad at Jamar Chase at 3. I'm definitely not, even though I don't like having these teams, I'm not mad at this list. If you look at people can say what they want about Mike Evans. DK Metcalf is not on this list. And I can tell you why DK Metcalf is not on this list. He had a down year last year. He wasn't at his best. But DK Metcalf is not on this list. The list, and I'm going to repeat it again, is Brandon Ayuk at number 10, Stephon Diggs at number 9, Mike Evans at number 8, Armand St. Brown at number 7, A.J. Brown at 6, Devontae Adams at 5, CeeDee Lamb at 4, Jamar Chase at 3, Tyreek Hill at 2, and Justin Jefferson 1. Not mad at this list at all. Not mad at this list. Maybe we can switch some things around and put who, but I think the top 5 is correct. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams. That is absolutely correct. Adams is low because he had a down year. Adams is definitely low. But if you look statistically, CeeDee Lamb had better numbers than Devontae Adams. Jamar Chase, you could probably argue that because he had injuries too. Tyreek Hill is number 2. I'm sorry. I don't like Tyreek Hill, but almost 1,800. He was 1 yard away from 1,800 receiving yards. I'm sorry. You can't compete with that. You can't compete with that. I think the only thing that you could actually argue with and move Devontae Adams up is from Jamar Chase. That's the only one I say you could do. The only one. But this not a bad list here. But I would love to hear what y'all have to say when it comes to this top 10. I would love to hear what y'all have to say. Honestly. Because I'm not mad at this list. I'm not mad at this list at all. So congratulations to everybody that made the top 10 on the top 10 receivers in the league, according to coaches, executives, and scouts. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. The Darion Hopkins Show is officially done. Episode 13 is definitely in the books. We would love to thank everyone from being in the chat to being on social medias from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble. We really do appreciate y'all being on the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. Like I said before, this will be an audio podcast version of this. Audio podcast version will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So if you have any of those on your telephone or whatever you have it on your platform, make sure y'all go check out the audio podcasts because every segment will be uploaded on the audio podcast version. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. And we really appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go to SeatGeek.com and use that promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. Go to w.gg and get $10 off your purchase at checkout using the promo code DHopkins. Make sure y'all go to betus.com. Betus.com is definitely a great one for y'all. I would love for y'all to go check that out because Betus, if you love to bet and receive 125% of sportsbook bonus upon your initial deposit, use the link that's in the description. Get your D-Hop Nation merch today. The link is in the description. So we greatly appreciate y'all being here. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be on for Friday because I'm supposed to be going out of town. So I might do another show tomorrow just to make up for Friday's show. But see y'all later, man. I really thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all follow us on all social medias at D Hopkins Show when it comes to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok as well. We love y'all. Peace, love, and blessings. We'll see you on another live stream or in the next video or in the next podcast. It's the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. Peace out.
Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
This episode of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience best events in town, all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use the promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets. Are you ready to take your energy to the next level? W Energy is a proud sponsor of the Darion Hopkins Sports Show, your go-to source for all things sports. W Energy isn't just another drink. It's packed with natural ingredients, zero sugar, and no fillers. Whether you're training like me, grinding through work, or just leveling up on your favorite game, W got you covered. The Darion Hopkins Sports Show is powered by W Energy, and you can be too. Experience the sustained energy and enhanced focus to keep me at the top of my game. Here's an exclusive offer for the Darion Hopkins Sports Show fans. Using promo code DHopkins at checkout and get 10% off your first purchase. So don't wait. Boost your energy and take the world today. W Energy, fuel your greatness every step of the way.